Yes, sir. Shaq Talk Stocks. We back. Another day, another video. All right. So I remember I brought this story up to I don't want to say y'all's attention, but I just brought it up a couple months ago. But now there's actually a dollar amount on the table. So Jay-Z, and it seems like we always talking about Jay-Z over here, Brooklyn boy, man. You know what it is. Anyway, so Square Crash acquires Tidal in a $297 million deal. I remember Jack Dorsey, I think is the guy's name. I spoke about this a couple months back, but it wasn't a dollar amount to the deal. It was just like talks. But now there's a whole dollar amount. What's going on? So what did Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey talk about when they went yachting around the Hamptons together last summer? Perhaps only Beyonce knows. That's funny. Maybe now we do too. Square, the mobile payment company led by Mr. Dorsey, announced on Thursday its plan to acquire a significant majority of Tidal, the streaming service owned by Jay-Z and other artists, including Beyonce, Rihanna, um, and Roc Nation. So, Square Cash will pay $297 million in stock and cash for the stake in Tidal. Jay-Z will join the Square board. That's dope. So these are the two right here. The announcement comes less than 2 weeks after Jay-Z announced that he will sell 50% of his champagne company, um, better known as Ace of Spades, to LVMH, Louis Vuitton, right? Downturn in the music industry caused by the pandemic that affects some of Jay-Z's holdings. So what Jay-Z doing is he capitalized on the stuff that he owned, right? You know what I mean? It's like just like how Dr. Dre had Beats. Well, he had a majority stake in Beats, and then once it got as big as he thought it could get, he sold it and he made that million. It seemed like the same thing Jay doing. Jay-Z don't rap no more. I don't think people notice that. Like Jay-Z don't drop verses. I don't want to say rap is beneath him because it made him, but Jay-Z on some other stuff. He on some some real wealth stuff, not just industry wealth where you get paid off of advances and live off that. He on some actual try to get my personal wealth. If you know what I'm talking about, if you know how the industry works, like your personal wealth and your industry wealth is two different things. Like if you ever notice, like you'll see an artist, they'll be on top of the billboards, and they'll buy their cousin. Not saying it's not a nice car, but like a Honda Civic, '05, because that's their personal wealth they're spending, right? It's not the industry's wealth where they buy themselves like a Bentayga or a Yaris or whatever, right? So I think Roc Nation will be fine. Jay-Z said in an interview last month about the sales of Ace of Spades. Like all entertainment companies, they'll eventually recover. You just have to be smart and prudent at time. Also, last month, Mr. Dorsey, who is also the chief executive of Twitter, right? That's the dude. He a big dude, man. Announced that he and Jay had endowed a Bitcoin trust to support development in India and Africa. That's dope. Tidal, which Jay-Z bought in a partnership with other artists in 2015 for $56 million, provides members access to music videos, and exclusive content from artists. By the streaming industry has been dominated by competitors like Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Yeah, remember Jay got hot because he wasn't really supporting Tidal like that. Which he gotta understand that the space was heavily saturated already. You know what I mean? And the same product that even though you limit the product, like say you don't want to put your album on Spotify, you end up having to putting this album on Spotify because it's old albums, because Spotify kind of dominated the space. You know what I mean? It just didn't work. Sometimes it just don't work. In 2017, Jay-Z sold 33% of the company to Sprint for an undisclosed amount. Not like this one. We know how much he sold. This dude bought this stake from. See, Sprint was an undisclosed amount. After a merger, Sprint is now part of T-Mobile. What? Earlier this week, Jay-Z bought back the shares from T-Mobile, and most will be sold to Square as part of the deal. So he ended up buying the shares back after he sold it to Sprint. Needed the money, got his money up, bought it back. So Mr. Dorsey and Jay-Z began to discuss acquisitions a few months ago. That's when I talked about it. A Squarecast executive who will lead Tidal on an interim basis. It started as a conversation between the two. They found a sense of common purpose, and which was found in 2009. Squarecash will offer financial tools to help Tidal's artists collect revenue and better manage their finances. There are other tools they will need to be successful, and they're going to build up. So it's dope, man. It's dope. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Beyonce. Get money, man. Get money. I'm trying to get my money. I ain't mad at nobody trying to get money this round, man. Get money. All right. Shaq Talk Stocks.